live from a Boyer Research barbecue. Okay, you're at a Boyer Research barbecue.
Okay, I've been there. Yeah.
Company barbecue. Stuck next to the guy who was telling you stakeholder capitalism is likely to harm stakeholders in the long run, when all you want is a goddamn fork. It's a Business Pants Friday show here at November 21st. Studios featuring analyst Matt Mascardi.
Talk about a deep cut joke.
I mean, I went into their proxy voting philosophy and guidelines. That is actually in there. It does say stakeholder capitalism is likely to harm stakeholders.
That's the funny thing.
That's amazing proxy
mansplaining. You're just making straight up jokes. These are all based in real things.
Everything is researched. Yeah, I don't have any original jokes. It's all research. On today's weekly wrap up, ISS renames itself ICE.
Ooh.
Women keep winning elections, and a special pre-Thanksgiving trigger game.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not really a game. It's sort of a game. I did not want to do Assholiest this week.
Yeah, you're kind of segueing out of Assholiest because, as we've kind of learned, we're in a uncomfortable phase of American/Western history where everyone's kind of an asshole.
I mean, they always
Sorry,
kind of
you know
were.
I'm right. Sorry.
Right? They always kind of were, but
not you,
really
listener.
bad.
You're not an asshole.
And
You're
last week I did the blamingist.
I love a blame game.
But this week I actually just got triggered by so many headlines that I'm just going with triggeriest.
I like it. Wait, do I get to play?
You get to play. You have to pick what triggers you most.
Our show today is being sponsored by Free Float Analytics and freefloatanalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power connections and performance for free.
I love them. I mean, what are they doing these days? Are they just doing like the good data stuff? Is that what they're doing?
They've been promising an update of the data. Are we close?
Close-ish. Yeah, it's gonna be in December.
Oh fuck!
It turns out,
excuse my language. 2050.
It turns out when the SEC kills precatory proposals, it does get everyone scrambling to update the director data. That's what happens.
Ready?
Because you have a lot. Let's.
It always looks like a lot. Maybe it is a lot. I don't know.
We're gonna spend time on your first story of the week. That's what's just gonna happen. I just know it.
And I don't have the official results yet from that.
Yeah,
first story. The first story.
refreshing.
So I'm gonna speed over on my end. Cracker Barrel. This is, and I'll reference my dumb jokes. This is the ISS renamed itself ICE joke. See?
Oh,
I'm footnoting my story. See how it works? Cracker Barrel investors back CEO after logo fiasco, but drop director. The director they're talking about is this so-called, what do they call them? Diversity specialist, Gilbert Dávila.
He runs a marketing firm that markets.
But they're calling him a diversity specialist.
Right, well, it calls itself a multicultural marketing firm where basically, just so
He's
we're
selling
clear,
to not white people.
Yes, it sells things. It does is like
that's not a diversity specialist.
It tells you
that's a.
How
I think it's a marketing
do I sell
specialist.
my shit to somebody who's not a white man? That's all.
And I know this is going to shock you, but white people also buy things that black and brown people buy.
No,
it does go both ways.
No, it does not.
So if you're good at marketing
lies.
To black people, you might be good at marketing to everyone. But I know we live in a crazy, mixed up racial world. But ISS and Glass Lewis oddly agreed with the MAGA activist investor, Biglari is his name. He's Iranian, and they said, "Yeah, sure. Let's get rid of the director Gilbert Dávila, who's only been on the board for 4 years. Let's blame him. So we're not going to blame the chair. We're not going to blame the CEO. Let's just blame him. Let's vote no against him." And it worked.
Biglari's
campaign, gone. He actually left.
Yeah, Biglari's campaign was against the CEO and the air quote DEI specialist.
Yeah, to be fair to Biglari, and I apologize because the true heart of MAGA world and the anti-DEI world is against women too. It's not just people of color.
Come on, it's not just
it's
brown
women
people.
and people of color.
And
so I got to be fair to
gays.
him.
And gays.
Okay, but
Come
can
on.
we find gay people on the board of Cracker Barrel? I don't think so.
I don't know. You don't know.
He couldn't.
That's Dwight Schrute needed a gaydar to find them, right?
Yeah. All right,
so
we're already spending too much time on it. You want to move on?
Targets.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, this story drove me fucking crazy because
As
his
it should've.
targets was the CEO and then a guy on the board. No, so this guy wasn't like the head of a committee that chose the marketing campaign. He wasn't in charge of the marketing campaign. He's a guy on the board.
Not. He's an independent board member.
He's an independent board member. He gives strategic advice.
We don't even know how he voted. He might have voted no on the sign change.
You have no idea how he voted. Yes, you don't even know if they voted because really all they did was
we don't know anything.
Rebrand the logo, and the rebrand was the same colors and the same font as it used to be, and they got rid of the picture of the old white guy. You can see
nobody cared about in the
how
first place.
Big Laurie would say, like, oh, it would be the multicultural marketing specialist who would target getting rid of the white guy on the logo. You could
and we all
see
know
how
that
they'd say that.
Yeah, and we all know that nobody cares about logos. And if the customers had showed up the next day and the cheeseburger was better and cheaper, they would have been like, "Oh, this is a better and cheaper cheeseburger. Awesome." They wouldn't be looking at the sign. They wouldn't be craning their necks outside the window to see what the sign looked like.
I mean, meanwhile, KFC, which is Kentucky Fried Chicken, renames itself KFC and is owned by a Chinese company, and nobody's up in arms about that. But the fact is, Big Laurie targets those two. One rando board member who's not rando, he's just brown and multicultural, right?
Yes.
And then the CEO. Glass Lewis and ISS say don't vote out the CEO, vote out the brown guy. They agree with vote out the brown guy.
If anyone, please, we have heard secondhand that there are people at ISS and Glass Lewis that maybe don't love us. Reach out to us. It can be off the record. We don't even have to report back on it. Just tell us why. Why would you target him?
I tried to get a copy of the report.
Why?
Because there is no demonstrable reason. He's not even the longest tenured person. The board chair is the longest tenured person.
I wouldn't even. Yeah, I mean, frankly, I wouldn't even agree with targeting a CEO in this.
You know what they said?
She was hired to do this. She was hired to turn around the company and make changes. But the chair, yeah, I would. I could see targeting the chair.
You know why they said don't vote out the chair? They said don't vote out the CEO because it would be, quote, too much disruption. They said don't vote out the chair because if you vote out the chair and Dávila, the multicultural marketing specialist, the chair came from like Hilton or Marriott.
Yeah.
And they said those are the two people with sort of retail marketing experience. So you can't vote out the chair because he had like you can't vote them both out. So they literally just targeted the brown guy.
Yeah.
Except Glass Lewis added another person to target, Jody Bilney.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
Glass Lewis said vote out Jody Bilney also. Jody Bilney was put on the board by Big Laurie in 2022. Here's the real,
I'm okay with that.
Here's the triggeriest part to me, and this is going to be one of the triggering, because investors ignored vote out the Big Laurie lady, ignored vote out the CEO, and they just voted out the brown guy. The investors were talking about...
Easy. It's a DEI punch.
About 30% of the shares are owned by Blackguard, State Street, and Vanguard. BlackRock and Vanguard own 27% by themselves. State Street is actually a small player in this. A guy named Tom Cloggis at GMT Capital owns 12.5% of the shares. I've read everything I can about him. He just seems like a dude. He just seems like a normal dude.
Guy. How much does Big Laurie own?
Big Laurie owns 2%.
That's it. And this is his 8th attempt at an activist investor campaign, and they're still listening to him. It's amazing.
But it would have taken at least one of them to vote against Dávila, which means
again, this
when
is the
data all comes
anti-DEI
out,
year. Yeah.
Is there anybody at BlackRock or State Street or Vanguard that's fucking thinking for themselves? Are you literally are the MAGA people right? Is ISS and Glass Lewis just telling you what to do? Because if you thought for 30 seconds, you'd be like, we voted for this guy for the last 5 years. There was nothing wrong with him then. Nothing to suggest that he made this decision now. That if we're going to be angry, we should be angry with the board chair and the CEO. That's who we're supposed to be angry at. right?
I will say that there was a very right-wing, I tagged the article, there was a very right-wing enterprise that put out a report card just yesterday rating all of the big investors and stewards and owners and all that, and whether they were right-wing or left-wing, essentially, whether they were anti-woke. And BlackRock, Vanguard both got A's, meaning that
they're anti-woke.
Yes, they were anti-DEI, anti-woke. So they're just doing what they do now.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, this is their role. So they are thinking for themselves in the sense that they're going along with Daddy Trump. Oh, let's move on.
It's the worst. That's what it is.
Second story of the week. U.S. This is I mean, we predicted this, but it's coming fast and furious. U.S. regulator, talking about the SEC, will permit companies to exclude shareholder proposals from proxies.
I think this is a great story. Finally, I mean, like, I'm a little sad that the first person to get voted out. Now, remember, 0.2% of directors annually get voted out. That's 0.2%. Right? Like, it's like 40 or 50 globally that get voted out.
Well, add Dávila to that.
And Dávila is the first one to get, like, oh, no, he's the second one. Because
resigned.
The other one who got voted out was the guy at Wiley, who was a black man who was the president of Dominion College.
He's the president of a university.
He's the president of a university, and there was no good reason why he got voted out either, other than he was a black man, right? Like,
our years of experience could dig up nothing. We couldn't understand it.
In fact, statistically, the chances that the first two directors to get voted out in the United States are a black man and a Hispanic man are almost 1 billion to 1.
Yeah, if you had parlayed that on FanDuel, you would have had some nice coin for your Thanksgiving meal. Yeah,
but so I'm pissed that, like, you know, the first director votes, the anti-woke are winning the director vote no campaigns, but not having shareholder proposals is going to be great for vote no campaigns. Let's get rid of more directors. Let's target the other ones.
For those of you who are not aware, previously companies that wanted to exclude a shareholder resolution would seek the SEC's written permission by asking for a no action letter. But now the SEC is just gonna they're gonna say we don't care.
We won't even look at it. That's basically
And to your point, and I've read this in other sources, is that this is good if you are interested in holding directors accountable, which we are, because now hopefully all the attention will shift to directors. Of course, I made the sort of tongue-in-cheek prediction not too long ago that would eventually be outlawed.
Yeah,
that we
I
won't
think
be
you're
allowed
right.
to vote on directors either, because, you know, that's even too much. But I'm hoping that's not the case. We'll see.
I'm a little worried that might be the case.
That's the second story of the week. The third story of the week, just more shameful, horrible nonsense from horrible men. But I picked this headline. I picked this headline because it says it all about why I hate all these men and why I hate OpenAI. OpenAI says Larry Summers has decided to resign from board of directors.
You don't
they
like the
couldn't
word
even
decided.
fire him. So everyone probably knows by now, Larry Summers, former president of Harvard, known misogynist, known blowhard, all over the Epstein emails. He even himself said he's deeply ashamed. He said he was going to step back from all his public commitments, although he said he was going to keep teaching at Harvard because he has to keep teaching. And then he did something. I think some student captured some video of him, and it was embarrassing. And so he's gone from Harvard. Harvard's investigating him. But my point here is, I gave Sam Altman 24-hour window. I was like, come on, dude, just do the right thing. Like, fire the guy openly. I mean, it just seems like the right moment. Do it. No. And not only that, but they don't even make an official statement. I spent most of my morning looking at all their press releases online. Here are some of the things that they've released as press releases since Larry Summers resigned. OpenAI and Foxconn collaborate to strengthen U.S. manufacturing across the AI supply chain, helping 1,000 small businesses build with AI, strengthening our safety ecosystem with external testing, blah, blah, blah. Of course, there's a horrible one here, a free version of ChatGPT built for teachers. That one scares the hell out of me.
But there are 11 press releases that you pulled since he resigned.
Yeah, and then I had a long argument with ChatGPT itself, trying to get it to explain to me why here's where eventually I got in the conversation with ChatGPT. This is the owners of OpenAI, of course. ChatGPT said to me, I apologize for treating your question as just a communications issue before. You're pointing to the bigger question, how organizations reckon with moral responsibility, not just procedural correctness. If you want, I can lay out what a responsible, ethically minded public statement might look like.
Oh.
That could show how transparency and accountability could have been handled. You want me to do that? So
Did you have it
was
do that?
offering to help me lay out the... And I was just like, what the hell? Like, what?
So they didn't even use ChatGPT to write the resignation statement.
Because it's ready to help, right? I mean, yeah. And not only that, but OpenAI itself thanked... what did it say? It said... I know I had this in here. It thanked... Oh, it said they respect his decision and thanked him for his service. I mean, what the hell?
Well, thank you for your service, sir.
There is just no moral center anymore, right? There's no moral center.
Like there was. I don't. This one.
Maybe
this
you're
one
right.
is
Maybe you're
all
right.
distraction to me from like.
I know what you're saying,
in this
but
country,
it's still
they
part of
voted
our
to
world.
release the Epstein files. Finally, I'm sure they're going to be
Gonna be all
doctored
redacted
or
anyway,
altered.
doesn't matter.
You
Yeah.
said like a year ago, like even if we got the Epstein files, they would be
a big black
they'd be
magic
changed.
marker line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
that's not the point.
They voted to release them, and they still haven't been released, and we're still talking about Larry Summers.
Okay, I know, and I don't want to talk about Trump right now, but we have been hammering Larry Summers for years since he was appointed to the board. In fact, I even made the case at ChatGPT that this wouldn't have happened in the first place if you hadn't fired the women who tried to fire Sam Altman, because you replaced those women with Larry Summers, and we've been yelling about that for 2 years straight now. And ChatGPT basically agreed with me and said, "Yeah, this is a systemic issue. This is a systemic issue going on in our economy where women are blamed for things that they're not trying. We don't, blah blah blah
if
blah blah."
I wrote on ChatGPT, we should have fired the women sooner. It would agree with me too. Like that's
I hate
what
all
it does.
this. I hate all this, but I'm glad he's gone from the board. It's not going to change anything. I'm glad he's gone. That's the third story of the week. Fourth story of the week, quickly, back in the game. And speaking of ChatGPT, speaking of OpenAI, Jeff Bezos, he's now got his own AI company called Project Prometheus. He will be the co-CEO. So now we have another horrible billionaire ego competing to destroy us all with their nonsense. So I know you're rolling your eyes at this, but
No,
I think this is important that he's back. I think it's important.
I'm not. I think it's important too, but I'm rolling my eyes at the
a lot of money to spend.
The name.
As you should.
Like-
as you should.
What a fucking project. I'm gonna bring fire to the masses. Like, what a dick. Like, only a white guy would like. The only other thing he could have named it is something from a Lord of the Rings book, and it would have been even more asshole dickish, like navel gazy, like tech bro man baby.
He should have called it like. He should have called it like. Mackenzie Scott would have created a better AI company.
He should have called it Mackenzie Scott spent her money helping poor people. I'm spending my money on my ego.
On what?
Such a fucking
And
dick
finally, very quickly, my last story, and this is mostly to set up my joke at the end of the show. The New York Times had a post, the CEOs who came to dinner with the Saudi Crown Prince. We talked about this earlier on the week. Now Trump is cozying up with Saudi Crown Prince who killed, one of the reasons why he killed the reporter in the first place is because he was investigating ties to the Kushner family with the Saudi. I'm serious, with the Saudi Crown Prince.
You don't have to convince me.
Back in the day, but anyway, here are some of the CEOs who are now just going along with everything. I'll say this quickly. Brian Armstrong, Coinbase, Mary Barra, GM, Mark Benioff, Salesforce, Albert Bourla, Pfizer, Tim Cook, Apple, Jane Fraser, Citigroup, Jensen Wang, Alex Carr, Elon Musk, Steve Schwartzman, Blackstone, Vlad Tenev of Robinhood, of all people, and Mike Wirth of Chevron. These are the luminaries showing up to this nonsense going on at the White House.
Which one of them makes you angriest that they showed up?
Honestly, the one that stood out to me, and we'll get to that later, is and I don't know why I'm triggered by this, but it's Tim Cook. That's the one that stood out to me because they still have these platitudes. Yeah, they have all, and let me get to that later. So those are my five stories of the week.
All right,
pick a story.
Look, the story of the week is Cracker Barrel.
From our perspective, it kind of has to be. I mean, it's more just nonsense and racism.
I would tie Cracker Barrel and the shareholder proposals, because the shareholder proposals is a big deal in our world, but Cracker Barrel is action, right? Like, so, but I'm going to choose Cracker Barrel. But when the zine comes out, I'll probably just cover both of those. It's the nadir. It's the worst thing. Like what it should expose is how little people think and or care about their fiduciary duties. They literally don't care. And
despite the fact that, and I will say that my joke about Boyer Research at the beginning of the show, which was mansplaining to us why stakeholder capitalism would ruin stakeholders, is that's all they would talk about is fiduciary duties.
Yes, and
it's all cover.
This isn't. What a fiduciary duty is BlackRock and Vanguard and Alliance Bernstein and all the companies that voted on this. You know, they vote on every election, but they voted on this one. They're voting with your money. They're not voting with their own money. It's not their own choice. They are voting with your money, and they are effectively saying Cracker Barrel was trying to diversify its market. It was trying to get more money. It was trying to grow as a company.
Everyone is trying to do.
The most basic thing that a company can do.
Especially retail and restaurants.
And the reason why they're doing that is because only 55-year-olds and older were eating there, only in the South, and it hadn't made money. It was just losing foot traffic every single year for the last decade. They bring in a new, younger CEO, and they bring in like all different people to come up with an idea. And the first idea they have is let's just make it a simple brand and make it homey and simple. And then bots on the internet and internet trolls at Fox News and fucking Robbie Starbuck alikes all shit on Cracker Barrel. And the cost of that was your money not being used to vote for the company to expand its marketing horizons and think about expanding markets and bring in more revenue. No, it was get rid of the brown guy on the board. And not a single one of them opened a fucking page of research to figure out whether that guy is the one that should go. Not one of them.
You do raise a good and yet frightening point, which is all of this usually does start from some some right-wing anti-DEI troll. It's not like actual customers are complaining. It's not like Americans are caring. How come? So my big question is, how come they never pick up on our viewpoint and anything and run with our nonsense?
We need three.
I've been like crying in my dirty sweatshirt for 50 years that it is shameful. The low amount of women who are CEOs and chairs in America is shameful. How come they're not picking up on that idea and forcing companies to get more women in leadership and give women, and not only that, but
because that's not
the women they have on the boards, give them actual roles of responsibility. Why don't they fixate on that stuff?
That's not about merit, Hazelnut. That's something else.
Let's move on. So I think you're right.
And never come back to it ever again. See, I got triggered.
And by the way, I do like ISS Glass Lewis. It is nice when we can agree with the right wing, right? We both kind of hate them at this point.
Yeah, I think they would like to just do their research and be left alone, but I think now they're kind of stuck.
Goodliest.
Goodliest. I've got two.
You go first.
California adopts tougher methane rule for landfills to curb planetary warning.
I mean, okay.
Look,
even though that does seem, it almost seems revolutionary in Trump's America.
I just like that they adopted a rule.
They're not just talking about it.
They're not talking about a new rule. They're not like researching whether a new rule can be implemented by 2070.
Yeah.
They basically said, then here's a new rule. And the rule is expected to reduce landfill emissions by like 430,000 metric tons of CO2 per year.
Jesus.
And they're estimating that it could create as much as $34 million in benefits. And the costs of of course.
Yeah. Once again, this is one of the weird times where I actually agree with Trump administration is the maybe secret lining of making everything unaffordable is that there'll be less to throw into landfills. Is that possible? Right? Is that possible? although from everything I read, Walmart is doing better than ever because it's so cheap. And so I don't know that people have stopped buying things. They're just buying cheaper things, right?
I think, because the Walmart earnings suggested that
Walmart and Amazon are still
like
crushing it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just Target, who decided to turn its back on gay people and black people. They're the ones who are suffering, but everyone else is cruising.
Yeah. So, I mean,
all right. What else?
All right. So my second one,
I like that.
Black Friday 2025 boycotts.
What, you usually hate this stuff?
I do, but I like the name of this one.
Go ahead.
One is called Mass Blackout, and the other one is called We Ain't Buying It. Protests will target Trump and billionaires.
They're affording it.
They are specifically targeting basically the assholes who are telling you have to buy everything.
Who are they? Are they specifically targeting certain corporations?
Amazon deals and basically billionaires.
Amazon is generally the worst because there's no way for consumers to even have an understanding of if the sale is meaningful or not, because they establish pricing for items that no one sees anywhere else, and who knows what they're really worth in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, it's a total shit show over at Amazon.
Actually, the funny part is Target is amongst the stores listed as part of the boycott. As if Target needed more boycotts, right? Like it's just like,
how do you boycott when you're already boycotting?
Do they neutralize each other? Yeah, those are my two.
Here's mine, and I just follow up from my celebration a few weeks ago of a great election season we had here in America. Another one. I don't know why. I think they were counting late ballots is what happened. This is why this is late news. Seattle. A woman won the mayorship in Seattle, Katie Wilson. She's a 43-year-old Democratic socialist, kind of like Mamdani. She beats the incumbent mayor. What I really love about this is not even her politics, because in Seattle, I'm guessing both of these people were Democrats. But she is maybe the first successful female college dropout. So she studied at Oxford.
Really?
But she did not graduate.
Why?
But since then she's founded the small nonprofit Transit Riders Union, has led campaigns for better public transportation, higher minimum wages, stronger renter protection. She's been up to a lot. But I'm just saying, like, we've never seen a woman, although it was a Democratic election, so it's not like a company would have hired her. And VCs would not have given her money to work on affordable housing. But still, she won something.
That may be the best juxtaposition you've ever made, which is like a woman who went to Oxford and dropped out to go make things more affordable for humans.
Yeah, do everything great.
Couldn't get a job as a CEO or VC capital to start a company.
Of course not.
Get elected mayor of one of the larger cities in the United States. Yeah. That's great. That's classic.
I'm taking it as a win.
All right. I'll say yours is best just because.
All right,
let's go on to my segment today.
Finally a win for me. Trigger it. Triggeriest.
All right. This is very simple. It's a very simple game.
How does it work?
I give you headlines, and you tell me which of the headlines triggers you more. There are 8 headlines here.
So I pick 1 out of 8?
You're going to pick 1 out of 8. But
how am I going to remember number 2 when you're number 7?
You're going to give me a 0 to 10 score of how triggered you are first, and then we'll just take the highest.
You know me. I'm triggered by everything. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you why you should be triggered also.
Oh, I like this better. You're going to trigger-splain me.
I will trigger-splain. Here's the first headline. Mark Zuckerberg's hate speech gamble fuels Gen Z radicalization on Instagram as millions watch Hitler speeches and Holocaust denial.
Oh, this is, this is just the worst.
All right, so here's why it should trigger you in case you need to be trigger-splained. Zuck, remember, he killed the moderators in his founder mode, fire
this
everybody,
part of his
MAGA
Trump capitulation,
anti-wokening in 2024. The platforms now show actual footage of Hitler. It wasn't like, a guy dressed as Hitler.
Can we stop talking about this?
30% of Instagram users are between 18 and 24, and 33% are between 25 and 34. So they're Hitler prime age, their prime Hitlerization age. And Zuck has no accountability. He just won his antitrust case, which is a big deal because it basically means he can keep Instagram and WhatsApp, and there's no accountability for that. And he has dual class shares, so that's why. So you give this one a 10 of.
It's a 10, but here's the at least something good that could come out of this. I don't know what it'll have any like actual future ramifications, but the French government is already taking action against Grok and against Musk because you can't. And a lot of European companies, so Grok was generating posts that questioned the use, whether there were actually gas chambers to Auschwitz, and that questioned the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Now you can't do that in a lot of countries in the world. Germany being one of them, France. So they're already the government is taking action. Maybe we can start limiting their. Okay, but I'm just saying, like, hopefully, okay, can I be at least find some silver lining here? Like, maybe we can start taking action against some of these. I don't even know. I don't want to talk about it. You're making me depressed. I can't take it.
This is
and to everyone out there, and I wish I could talk to the whole world all at once for once in our lives and not just have one listener. But I'm gonna repeat Matt's headline, and I'm gonna ask you, why do you still have WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook? Matt's headline was, Mark Zuckerberg's hate speech gamble fuels Gen Z radicalization on Instagram as millions watch Hitler speeches and Holocaust denial. If you're still using Instagram and feeding the beast, you are a part of this problem. I'm just going to tell you, you absolutely are a part of this.
But let's outline the full ecosystem here.
Yeah.
Because in the article, the subtitle of this article is the speeches of Hitler's speeches and the nakedly anti-Semitic posts were mashed in between advertisements from JP Morgan, the US Army, the like massive corporations. And all the corporations have come back and said, we can't control what they put there, but you can control if you advertise there. And investors, Facebook should be an uninvestable asset. Full stop, period. If you have a share of Facebook in your portfolio, you are actively aiding and abetting the radicalization of it's not the United States youth, it's global youth, period. Yeah. Because that's how.
Let's be real. If any of you are not spending time near teenagers, or you don't ride like the public bus, kids are on Instagram pretty much constantly.
Like
constantly.
I just rewatched the movie. What's it called? Inside Game or whatever. It's Spike Lee.
No one knows
it's
what you're talking
Clive
about.
Owen as a bank robber. It's
Denzel.
Denzel.
I love Denzel.
Fabulous movie. Really good.
Yeah.
But like, you're supposed to be outraged in that movie that the banker took property from Jews that were killed in the Holocaust and sold it in order to start his bank. I don't understand the difference if Mark Zuckerberg is selling ads next to Holocaust propaganda and Hitler. Like, why do we look at like a dude who literally took stuff from the Jews and
because there's no moral center anymore. There's no.
But this fucking college dropout is doing the same thing.
There's money to be made. Yeah. Well, don't forget that J.P. Morgan was accused of dealings with Nazi Germany during World War II. I mean, that was a long time ago, of course. But
so that was a 10 out of 10. That's the first one. There's only 7 more.
That one sucked.
Okay, you already mentioned this one. OpenAI rolls out ChatGPT for teachers for K through 12 educators and districts.
I don't like this one. Okay, I will. Let me. This foreshadows one of my headlines of the week. Sundar Pichai is telling you. Yesterday is a headline. Don't blindly trust what AI tells you. This is Sundar Pichai.
Yeah, he runs one of the three biggest AIs.
Who what I'm reading now is that his model is actually even more advanced than ChatGPT. Okay, he's saying that the AI models are prone to errors and urged people to use them alongside other tools, because other products are more grounded in providing accurate information. He said, and at the same breath, the very next headline I read is OpenAI rolls out ChatGPT. They are the Uber of ruining our world, right? Like they are.
I like that. Good
They
analogy.
are just with alarming speed. Sam Altman is just. He's making partnerships with. He announced a partnership with Target this morning. It is everywhere. And it's bad.
Well,
and now Trump is going to make it illegal for states to regulate AI. He's only going to let the federal government to do that. I'm just saying,
it's not going to happen.
I'm just saying that this is a runaway train. We thought Uber was bad.
Well,
it was.
Let me trigger explain.
Okay, yeah.
Because
you
here
hear
are
how triggered I already am.
Two other
I'm clearly
headlines.
at a 10. I'm at a 10.
Two other headlines. Report finds that leading chatbots are a disaster for teens facing mental health struggles. And OpenAI blocks toy maker after its AI teddy bear is caught telling children terrible things.
Well, I don't know about, I don't know why that, 'cause that's the internet, isn't it?
Well, those terrible things that, so ChatGPT had a partnership with the toy maker to make a teddy bear that you could give to kids and effectively talk to and communicate with.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a real thing. And the toy maker circumvented ChatGPT's policies, and the teddy bear was caught giving kids advice, telling them how to light matches, and then describing sex acts and kinky sex to the kids.
Why not? Yeah.
And then OpenAI
Why should they
said,
follow the rules?
The funny
Why
part
should they
was
follow the rules?
OpenAI said, we have terminated the partnership and we are doing an audit of all of our partnerships to make sure nobody else is breaking the policy.
Great.
Okay.
They're doing their own audit. Great.
But this is
maybe
why
Larry Summers can come back and be he can chair that special committee that audits. That.
Yeah.
By the way, the one I'm most triggered by
the kinky sex acts, if he wants.
I'm triggered by that, but the one I'm mostly triggered by is the ChatGPT for teachers.
Yeah, well, this is just I'm trigger splaining. So what's the score on this?
That's a 10.
Another 10. Okay. It's going to be really hard to differentiate.
It's too much too fast, and this is what scares me most about OpenAI. This is why I supported the board action against him. Of course, now there are so many other corporations that have caught up that even if you got rid of OpenAI, what does it matter, right? I mean, but still, this was my original problem here, is that it was built for good. It was built by a there's a nonprofit which is core to its practices, but this is just runaway greed gone crazy. He's just force feeding it down everyone. I don't know. And making it for free is the part that scares me the most, right? This is the joke in every TV show, right? Is the drug dealer gives you free drugs until you get a taste and get addicted, right? I mean,
well, they say there's actually saying in Silicon Valley that
it shouldn't be free.
If it's free, you're the product. That's
I know, but it shouldn't. That's the thing. They are burning so much money. The only reason why they exist is because the VCs are letting them lose all this money. They're losing. From all reports, they're losing tons of money. There's tons of money.
They're estimating they'll be profitable by 2030.
Okay, but the point is that they shouldn't be allowed to be doing this in the first place. They should be selling. If you can sell to education and sell to school districts, fine, I guess. But to give it away for free, and Sam Altman has no understanding of he has no background in education.
This is literally the most effective game I've ever come up with. I've never actually seen.
But
when
you talk about Jewish things and teachery things,
I know that's why I chose them.
I mean, you talk about my mom basically.
Just
so
wait until the closer. All right, you mentioned this already. This is the next one. Target announces partnership with OpenAI as it aims to reverse sales slump.
Whatever.
Here's why you should be triggered. Trigger explain. Brian Cornell is still running the company. He's just pretending not to, right? He's on the board as executive chair. He's executive chair. His lieutenant of 20 years is air quotes running the company, but it's Brian Cornell still running the company.
It's not an external hire. They didn't get the guy from Chipotle. They just got the next guy.
Right. So now consider the headline I just mentioned to you about, chatbots are disaster for teens and they're caught telling children terrible things. What Brian Cornell just forged was a partnership with a chatbot that can make it easier for a kid who's asking, how do I make a noose, for them to say, here's where to buy the rope at Target, we'll send it to you, right? Like, isn't that the partnership? Isn't that
it's bad, but they already partnered. They partnered last week with Walmart, didn't they?
They did, yeah. They did that like 2 weeks ago.
This is bad, but this is like just capitalism bad. This is like a 5.
A 5. Oh, I missed on that one.
It's bad. Believe me, it's bad.
This one's strictly for me.
5 is still bad, by the way.
I think
only a 0 is okay. All right, go ahead.
This one's strictly for me. Disney launches newest cruise ship amid massive seafaring expansion.
Right. And they're striking out and they're streaming, so they're just building more ships.
Yeah, I think actually that someone told them that no one can afford to go to Disney parks anymore. So they were like, well, maybe they'll spend their money not at a Disney park, but on a Disney cruise, which is like a park with norovirus, because that's the trigger splaining. CDC investigates norovirus outbreak on Disney's Wonder. That's one of the cruises.
Look, I'm at the point now. This used to trigger me. But now I'm just like, let those people just go off together and get norovirus together. The only problem I have with it is that, not so much in the winter, but in the spring and fall, the fall especially, we have so many cruise ships in the city where I live. And there was a story, I think I shared it with you a few weeks ago, where there was a norovirus outbreak on the cruise ship docked in Portland Harbor. And the cruise ship wasn't forbidding passengers from leaving the ship.
Getting out and just shitting on
and
like
Portland
all
is
over.
is a tiny city. I mean, sometimes we have like as many as 4 cruise ships. That's about like a quarter of our population, 4 cruise ships. And they're all like running around like diarrhea hands. That's not good. I mean.
There you go. What's the number here?
Yeah, it's 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just more of the same nonsense.
Trigger adjacent.
That one was for you.
Here's one for you, because I know how much you like Nazis. A CEO of Palantir says he spends a large amount of time talking to Nazis.
There are certain things I thought as a society that we had achieved. Like I thought we were well past giving women the right to choose medical procedures like abortion. I thought we were well past like gay equal rights for gay people. I actually thought we had all agreed that Nazis are the worst.
I mean, they were the bad guy in Indiana
and that
Jones,
talking about
right?
them in public forums in a positive way that made you absolute scum. But no, we've lost all of that. So
there was another headline this week about how the Coast Guard will no longer basically regulate the use of swastikas,
and nooses. They're both not hate symbols
anymore.
anymore.
So they're not hate symbols anymore.
So
you're
you can
allowed
hang a
to
noose.
show them or have them in private.
Yeah.
But
now let me ask you this. Now, Mark Zuckerberg, I know, is Jewish. Alex Karp, I believe, is partly Jewish or is Jewish.
Is part Jewish. And
so what is going on here?
So with this one, like the interview he did was on a podcast. He said he talks to actual Nazis and he's trying to understand what makes them tick. But here's why it should trigger you, because what he's saying was effectively like, I'm trying to learn about Nazis so that we can prevent it from ever happening again, kind of thing. But it was very awkward and weird.
So why is he partnering with Trump?
There was no self-awareness that a man with dual class control of what is the American digital Gestapo. Palantir is a digital Gestapo. All it does is survey you and watch you and make sure you're not woke now at this point. He's unironically fascinated with how the actual Gestapo worked, right? Like,
and even so Trump has this, it's kind of like this unofficial consultant who I don't know much about. She's a right-wing troll named Laura Loomer. She's like a conspiracy theorist.
She's not a real consultant. She's just an internet personality who
But even she is saying that the Republican Party has a white nationalist problem. Even she is saying it.
Well, she's Hispanic.
Okay, but the point being is, if I believe Alex Karp, why is he cozying up to a party and to an administration that is hosting Nazis regularly? Like, what are we doing?
Nazis buy shoes, Damien. Like, give me a number on this one.
10. I mean, just say Nazis. I'll give it. I'm sorry. I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, it's less bad.
It's less bad. I mean, I just don't trust. You know what it is? I don't trust Alex Karp. I sent you a story earlier today. I was like, here's why I love New England so much, and here's why I think I'm in the only like progressive part of the world at this point. because everyone else that we used to love is going back now. Even like New Zealand, everyone's going back to the far
they're
right.
all going nuts.
Even on I was on a stupid Red Sox fan site, which usually is talking about like trades that'll never happen. It's just a bunch of dopes talking about like RBIs and stuff. Even there on that dumb fan site, they were angry that that Fenway Park allowed Palantir to show an advertisement at Fenway Park, and it was only because it had nothing to do with the Red Sox, I guess. It was they were hosting some other event. But I was like, only in New England are dopey sports fans also angry at Palantir and Alex Karp like me. Like, I felt good about that. I felt
well, that should have been one of your good lists. Here's
Let's
another.
move on. Let's move
All
on.
right. This one's going to be quick because we already talked about it. At like Cracker Barrel investors back CEO after logo fiasco, but dropped director. This
Who
is
am I
just
mad at here? Yeah.
ISS Glass Lewis enabled
Yeah.
institutional racism.
This is ugly. This is a 10. This is ugly.
I agree. It's my 10. That's another me one, but it is ugly.
Look, if you think about it, like if this guy was a and not that I think it would have been okay, because I still think you target the chair in this instance if you're going to target anyone, because the CEO was hired to do a turnaround and the company was struggling, right? But if you had someone who was like, maybe they were a left-wing professor who advocates like killing CEOs like violently, and they're on your board, maybe that's a weird look or something. But this guy. This guy's a marketing specialist who is just trying to find as many customers as possible at an American company. And I hate to tell people if they're not aware of this, but America is a vastly multicultural country. We're not a bunch of like white Proud Boys from Idaho anymore. Like we're pretty goddamn multicultural. So to target him is beyond me. Whoa. And what exactly was his role in changing the sign?
Nobody knows. But I'm pretty sure his advice was probably sounded something like, if you want to open up like a Cracker Barrel in like Arizona, it would help to have a Spanish option menu, right? Like
that's probably a step too far.
And then it's like you're off the board. Like I love that we care so deeply, so deeply about heritage when it comes to this, but not when it comes to like tearing down the East Wing of the White House. Like it's nuts. All right,
move on.
That one's a 10. Here's two more. Ready?
Yeah.
Both of these are for you. Dunkin' customers outraged after anonymous Facebook user leaks display showing tariff shrinkflation costing you less coffee in your cup.
I'm kind of confused by this. So
right,
Dunkin',
all it means is
Dunkin's giving you less coffee?
You can't even go order a regular without getting ripped off. They just give you less coffee. That's all it means.
This is the time of year where I start to get chubby. And I think maybe this is true of all people who live in cold climates. I don't know, but it's the holidays too.
It's hibernation.
For 9 months, I exert so much horrible willpower to eat well. I hate it. I don't take Ozempic. I just restrict myself from all the things I love, like donuts and sweet coffee. Mm-hmm. And this is the only time of year where I will sneak out to Dunkin' and get a disgusting, sugary, milky,
delicious
coffee, and I'll sit in my car probably and listen to the radio, and I'll love every minute of it. So I'm kind of sad I'm going to get a little bit less of it, but look, I mean, compared to like teenagers listening to Hitler speeches, this is like a 4. I don't know what is this, a 4. I don't know. I mean, what are we talking about here? I don't know.
It's just whether you're triggered. It's a 4, sure. Okay.
I can't believe people still use Facebook. I'm more triggered by that. But go ahead.
Here's your final option. This is an article. Despite some initial skepticism, could Target's turnaround be right on target? By Jeffrey Sonnenfeld.
Oh,
that's
no,
right.
He's back.
A week and a half ago, Jeffrey Sonnenfeld released an article talking about. It had this.
How did I miss this?
I don't know how you missed this. It was buried in something else.
Well, you know what it is? I saw this headline. I'm guessing this is from Fortune. I saw this headline and I thought, she said there's so many stories about Target, so I can't tag them all. But I didn't know it was Jeffrey Sonnenfeld. I would have tagged it.
Here's the quote. I found this specifically for you.
Yeah.
As he retires, Brian Cornell has much to be proud of as one of the most admired and accomplished CEOs in retail.
Oh, come
For
on.
the record, In Sonnenfeld's article, he did not mention once the entire article the boycotts around DEI, the turnaround on DEI, the Pride merch problem, the anti-woke movement.
Or how about just the sales? How about the sales problem?
He basically
the foot traffic problem.
He basically attributed the sales problem to Cornell decided to become the premier online outlet, and it at the cost of some of the customer experience. Now Fidelki's perfectly positioned to return the customer experience. This is a brilliant team. They did some research that showed internal CEO hires.
This is like an 11. This is an 11.
I love it.
I hate this guy.
I knew Sonnenfeld would be more triggering than
this
Nazis.
Guy. He's so inauthentic. It's like the only thing that and this is probably why we fail as a company and we barely make livable wages, is that the only thing we aspire to in creating this company is just remain authentic, remain independent. It's all we can really do, right? This guy is like the opposite of that. I don't know what his game plan, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if it's all about friendships or ego, but come on, Jeff. Like, what in the face of Costco and Walmart, who are clearly crushing it, what is this bullshit? And by the way, Brian Cornell, he didn't retire. Where'd he go? He's still there. The whole thing is just, I just hate that he's allowed to pontificate like this. And by the way, weren't we supposed to have a partnership with Fortune? We're supposed to be. They never got back to us.
Just so you know,
didn't we have a conversation that we were supposed to do some regular reporting for Fortune?
Yeah, of course they wouldn't get back to us because
our stuff would be better than Sonnenfeld. Reach out to us.
We make fun of them. Just so you know, Brian Cornell did win the Legend in Leadership from Yale, led by Jeffrey Sonnenfeld
what
in
year?
2020. June of 2020.
Maybe that's the year maybe that year was okay, but since then, Target has nosedived. So,
well, that was the year, and I actually charted out the number of times they said the word diversity in their proxy statements and a bunch of their reports. Yep. Yeah. And 2019 is when they start really using the word diversity. 2020, they used it 130 times.
Wow.
And then it
was important then.
And then now they don't basically use it at all. It's like a handful
good for
of
you.
times.
And you destroyed your business. Great.
So
that's a 10. That's a 10.
That's a 10. All right. That the end result here is 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8 were 10s.
Okay, but two had to do with Nazis, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the trigger game. This is how it works. All right,
I like the trigger game.
Let's do headlines and winners and predictions, and let's get out of here.
All right, I'll skip my. I had one about. I told you already that Sundar Pichai saying don't trust AI, and then of course at the same time OpenAI is rolling out a free program for teachers of all things.
10, baby.
Yeah. But here am I, so I'll skip that. Two headlines I just love. Hooters CEO. I can't believe it's still a place called Hooters. Hooters CEO says private equity turned it into a boys club hangout. Now he's plotting a family-friendly makeover. I mean, think about all of that. I mean, so the place that objectified women and made them wear like tight shirts and tight pants.
They had to have big boobs. Yeah.
You're surprised it turned into a boys club hangout?
No, he's saying.
And what exactly is the family friendly?
Private equity turned it into a boys.
Oh, they're the ones
who did it.
Yeah, it wasn't the concept of Hooters in the first place. And how is it going to be family friendly? I just don't even know. Just blow it up and start over. The second one I love is this one from Tyson Foods. This headline. Tyson Foods will stop calling its beef net zero and climate smart after a lawsuit from environmental group. Can you imagine they called their beef climate smart?
Yeah, I remember that. I think that isn't that an old.
Is that like a thermometer? Like that's like a thermostat, like from like Nest thermostat from Google. It's like a smart. Like what? Like the beef, the cows are climate. The cows are just. They're grazing and they're farting. Like what? They're climate smart now. I just thought it was stupid. Tyson Foods is stupid. What do you got?
I got one, and it is simple.
I thought you had a couple.
Oh, I do have two. I lied. I just didn't put my mark next to them. The first one is Ari Emanuel wants to host UFC fights with Elon Musk's Optimus robots.
That's great because they already want to do they want to do a UFC fight on the lawn of the White House on July 4th, right?
I think
I'm
this
not
is
kidding
better.
I'm not kidding.
I think the only
all
use of a
horrible.
robot that I like is if the robots are fighting each other.
As
Like
long as
in
the
a ring
robots
and-
fall apart.
Like if you watch the Chinese competitions, it is ridiculous. The robots like
I
trip
don't-
on themselves. It's,
I don't
it's
want to talk
fabulous.
about it. I don't want to talk about it.
And then this one could I almost put this in triggeriest, but Ackman doubles down on viral.
Bill Ackman.
Bill
that's an
Ackman
automatic trigger. Yeah, say it again.
Ackman doubles down on viral dating advice and shares an additional approach.
Yeah, I saw a lot of these headlines. I didn't open them because I don't want to know about Bill Ackman. Tell me what's going on with Bill Ackman.
Ackman said, this is a quote from the article. Ackman noted that the approach he's talking about is how to hit on women. Basically, he's giving like advice.
Does this include Claudine Gay, the former president of Harvard?
No. You
Or
don't hit on her. You
just
you
women
fire
he
her.
likes.
Like
You fire her. Okay. Well, she's black. Yeah.
Ackman noted that his approach seemed most effective when he was on the move. As long as I was on something moving, so an airplane,
What?
an elevator, an escalator, a subway, something about increased the vulnerability of it being effective, and it sparks a conversation, he said.
creepy.
Now,
I
if
don't know
you
what's he talking
read
about.
between the lines, all of
talking
those
about?
places are places where women can't escape you.
Yeah, they're trapped because they have to. It's the same with them, like being in a cafe, like reading a book or something, or doing their homework. Like they just like they
nowhere
can't
to go.
anywhere.
There's nowhere to
There's
go.
nowhere to go.
Right. Yeah. So that's where you should. You're most
An
effective.
escalator.
Can you imagine turning to somebody on an escalator?
This guy.
He had a very specific thing.
What would he say?
That he would say in order to
I'm rich?
start up a no, it wasn't like specific to him. It was like he said, oh God, I'm trying to find it quickly.
Yeah,
It's
find
like,
it, please.
find it, please. Like anybody needs it.
No, because I want women to know that if you hear this, go the other way.
May I meet you?
That's the hit.
That's his line. He said the effective line is when you're on these moving objects or
What does that mean?
You turn to a woman and say, "Hi,
I hate this guy.
May I meet you? My
You should have
name
put
is
this in the trigger.
so-and-so."
You should have put that in the trigger part. That's a 10.
I mean, look, as pickup lines go, that's
Plus,
better
he's
than
married.
like
Isn't he already married?
he is
I mean,
married, but like
why
that's
is he
better
talking
than
about
like
this?
typical pickup lines.
But why do we care anyway? Like he's getting Claudine Gay fired. He's married, and we want to know about his pickup lines. Why do we know?
I'm here
Why-
telling you about the headlines. That's all.
Go
I'm
to
here
hell,
do.
Bill Ackman.
All right. Yeah, winners. Who won this week?
Oh, I'm exhausted. I got to go right to Tim Cook
Oh no, he did not win the week.
for some weird reason. Okay, first of all, he shows up for dinner for an openly hostile anti-gay president, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the prince, who's hosting a prince from a regime where technically the death penalty is still on the books for same-sex
That's true.
sexual
That's
activity.
a good point. Did you think he went and like shook his hand and was like, "Hey, congratulations"?
think about
on
this.
attacking the gays.
I mean, think about this. But here's why he's the winner. There are numerous reports which suggest he's almost done with all this bullshit. He's leaving soon. He gets to be free, and he can just be himself again.
He's going to be executive chair, won't he?
He's got billions in Apple stock, and he can pretend to value human rights while he's hanging out like wherever on escalators with other men. When he's hitting on I don't know what he's doing with
May
Bill
I
Ackman.
meet you? Yeah.
Here, and here's why I got triggered from this. This is from Apple's, because Apple is still one of the only companies that, even on their Apple Store page, there's a section on diversity. They have a commitment to human rights. Here's part of that. We're deeply committed to respecting internationally recognized human rights in our business operations as set out in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, and the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. So Apple, this is them doing this, and I applaud this, but they're the ones who put all this material online. They're not hiding it, and yet Tim Cook is showing up to dinner to two of the most known anti-LGBTQ people known on our planet right now. I mean, these two jerks. So there you go, Tim Cook. Congrats, you're almost done.
Well,
and to Matt's point, don't become executive chair. Just leave. Just leave.
He's
You don't have to be
definitely
fake anymore. You don't have to be a fake. All right.
The human rights tracker and all the like scores of Saudi Arabia, it's like one of the worst places on earth.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to repeat. it's still technically a law that you can get the death penalty for same-sex sexual activity.
I just like that Apple has a commitment to human rights. You point out that like they are set out in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and by every measure, Saudi Arabia contravenes the Universal Declaration on Human Rights, and he shows up to a dinner specifically with that guy.
This guy killed a reporter from Jeff Bezos'. This is before Jeff Bezos owned it. This guy killed a reporter from the Washington Post because he, for obvious reasons. And of course, Trump said to that, like, well, things happen. I mean,
well,
but I mean, you're laughing, but this is Tim Cook shouldn't be showing up to dinners like that. I'm just saying, if Apple is going to proudly look, if you're Caterpillar and you're like, we don't care about black people and women anymore, fine. That's not what Apple did.
You remember 2016 when they convened the Economic Council when Trump was trying to put it together, and that Tim Cook said absolutely
no.
not. I will not join this.
There were other CEOs actually that did the same thing. Remember?
Yes, of course.
It wasn't just him. Yeah,
and
that was a different time, I guess.
I guess it was. All right, my winner of the week is Scott Gottlieb, Dr. Scott Gottlieb. Do you know Dr. Gottlieb? Scott Gottlieb. Here's the headline: Scott Gottlieb, MD, joins United Health Group Board of Directors.
Oh,
despite being one of the losingest directors in our data at any large cap company in the United States. He's on the boards of Illumina, Pfizer, and Tempus AI. I don't even know what that is. He has a staggeringly low 184 TSR batting average during his tenures of all these boards, and a 280 earnings batting average, meaning he basically ranks among the worst of the worst performing directors on the basic things investors ask for. Make money and make stock go up, right?
Yeah, so what you're saying is that he's on boards where the share price suffers and the earnings suffer.
They're well below average, yes.
He's an insufferable board director,
He can still find time in his day to join the United Health Board under the banner of current and ex-CEO Stephen Hemsley.
That is a winner. I mean, right?
What a win. He gets a board. He got another board position.
And that's a lot of money, that director compensation over there at United Health. That's a lot.
All right, you got a prediction?
Keeping with my Tim Cook jokes, Kid Rock and Eric Trump start shooting iPhones after a trans teenager posts about how happy she is to have received her first iPhone on Black Friday.
Oh, that one makes me sad. That one just makes me sad. I got a quick one.
Yeah.
Bill Ackman gives sex advice on Twitter. Ugh. Be sure to tweet about it afterwards. That's his sex advice.
Yeah. First you show off how happy you are to get rid of the black woman at Harvard, and then you tweet about your sex advice.
That's all we got. That was an unhappy show, I feel.
That was too much. No, I felt good.
That's Hazelnut Rallis, also known as Damien. I am your analyst, Phil Mamascardi. We are Free Float. That's all we got for now. There's another show we're going to do today, Proxy Countdown. It's coming out just after this one. Go check that out, actually, because we're going to talk more in depth about the SEC, no action stuff. We're going to talk about what you can do about it, who you can target. We're going to talk through, actually, there's a small hall of fame of some of my favorite shareholder proposals. So go get that. Until then, goodbye.